The Eurozone economy grew at its fastest pace in a year thanks to the lifting of coronavirus restrictions. The combined GDP of the 19 countries sharing the euro expanded 2.2% from July through September. Compared to the same three-month period last year, domestic output was up 3.7%. Both numbers are better than expectations. The biggest gain was made by Austria at 3.3%, while the laggard was Lithuania, which experienced zero growth. The European Central Bank has warned that supply chain bottlenecks around the world may lead to higher consumer prices and choke growth. But monetary authorities say price pressures are likely to be temporary and add they're in no rush to raise borrowing costs.
We talked about inflation. That has been a topic that has occupied a lot of our time, a lot of our debates. It will be settled and it will be sorted out in the course of 22, but not in the first quarter of 22. And some of them have been saying it will take the whole year to properly settle. It will be gradual. Certain deliveries will come about earlier, but overall it will take a good chunk of 22 for it to be sorted out.
Carsten Brzeski is Chief Eurozone Economist and Global Head of Macro Research at ING in Frankfurt. He says European economies still face a rocky recovery from the pandemic, despite the better-than-expected third-quarter numbers.
Yeah, it's quite a huge bag of mixed signals here, like you just said. So we saw, I think, when you characterize it, the countries which are most dependent on private consumption, on services, also on hospitality services, so benefiting from the opening up of the economies, the revival of the European summer tourist season. Italy, France, they definitely benefited a lot and they grew the fastest. On the other hand, we have countries which are apparently more exposed to the global supply chain frictions, which are amongst, or outstandingly, Germany. In Germany, the industrial production has not grown since the second quarter of this year, despite the fact that order books are extremely filled, that inventories have been reduced. So we see that private consumption all over the Eurozone had been strong, but depending on how big and how important your manufacturing sector is, this more is determined on how strong growth was in the third quarter. If you look ahead, and that is the most important thing, I think we will lose the momentum of this post-lockdown rebound. Private consumption will also come down. It will suffer from higher energy prices. Supply chain frictions will continue to weigh on industrial production. It will take really throughout 2022 before these supply chain frictions are over. And this should then be the moment in which also economies like the German one, like the Spanish one, can boost again and can lift off again.